Right, I'm going to go here. Oh, talk to you later.
It's a specific program that how to run next to our space. Yeah, it does a recording.
Right, okay, good. Sounds good.
Hey, Mark. Oh, it looks like we're the first ones, eh?
Hello.
Hello, Mark. Hey,
Hello, Mark.
Trinity.
Hi.
And then,
Hello,
hello,
Stephen.
the other guy over here. I can't. Hello. Let's have a extreme box ready to go. Turn it back.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, oh. Hey, Rachel. Welcome. Alright, let's go. News and updates.
Rock and roll. Yeah.
I swear, I don't know why I do that every time now. It just makes me dizzy and sick. So welcome everyone to this week's news and updates. I am Laurel.
I'm Donna, but hang on a sec because, on air.
Donna's having some technical issues. All right.
Oh, you got
Every start, I love it.
Okay, I'm here. Okay, I'm Donna, the other host here at News and Updates, ready to bring you all the news that is the news in our metaverse community called Altspace VR. Mark, our esteemed producer and the genius of this weekly Altspace VR news show, is behind the camera bot live streaming to everyone in the metaverse and beyond. And I have to tell you, this script is so hot that I can hardly touch it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
It literally is hot off the presses. All right. So things have calmed down a bit here in Altspace, and at least on the technical side. We've had a lot of crazy lately, but don't worry. We still have plenty of news to talk about, which is why you are here.
So Altspace VR announced a back-end maintenance project for an hour last Monday, and it lasted for less than that. I was very excited about that because I had an event that actually bordered on that time, and we had no problem at the event. We wanted to thank the Altspace VR community for their patience, as the support groups weren't flooded and everyone played nice. I just came from 101 and everybody played nice. What's going on? The niceness in here. The updates are now back on schedule, arriving by Tuesday. The number of bug reports appear to be reducing of late, but if you find one, please report it by going to your settings, support panel, and filling in a description and uploading your logs. This is really critical, you guys. In order to help fix things, they literally have to have the data to be able to do that. So thank you for filling out logs.
That is really true. And because if they can't track it, it doesn't get fixed and Altspace doesn't improve. That's how this works. The crazy shift from the old to the new Unity versions and the Altspace VR Unity uploader has settled down. You can all breathe now. And many of our favorite community-built worlds are back, including Spirit Cave.
Oh,
yay!
isn't that awesome?
We'll be talking more about
Just
that.
came from there.
I love it. So thanks to all the world builders for their patience and determination to see this change through. And from what I'm hearing, Donna, the benefits of using the new version of Unity is paying off with great improvements and the advancements in the technology. So after a year kind of being on hold, we now can take advantage of those great Unity updates. Love it.
Well, that's awesome. Now, we've been reporting on the 3-month-old info zone since it was introduced, but still there seems to be confusion over its purpose.
Yes, indeed. First of all, it ain't a hangout zone, folks. Don't go there to just hang, all right? It's an informational welcome for new users, and it's generally staffed by the community helpers who have the experience, to help answer questions and be a welcoming voice with the support of the MIN staff. So if you've been hanging around Altspace for a while, come on in and check out the info zone. It's fascinating, and they're going to be doing some improvements with it, but it's really cool. But don't hang out there. Don't chat there. Honestly, it is really hard to be helpful to people and to talk over other people that are discussing the latest episode of Doctor Who. Okay, guilty. Or a new recipe of Greek moussaka. Honestly, I actually heard that and then I got hungry. And then, or they're gossiping. So please, Altspace VR has the people with the most intellectual conversations. We have great intellect here, don't we? But please keep that in the campfire and somewhere else. I'd like to believe that. I want to believe that we're smarter than the average people because we're here in VR, right? Right? Come on. Well, we're smarter than normal, so.
Oh, you guys, some days are way better than others. So, due to compliance with international laws that require registration for use of platforms like Altspace VR, guests are no longer allowed to access the campfire or anywhere else in Altspace VR unless they sign up and have an active account. Critical point. This is not punishment. It is Altspace VR finally complying with laws.
So what's happening, though, is that the info zone is becoming a hangout for children and disruptive individuals who won't create an account. Sure, this is really rare. It's really easily dealt with by staff, but it changes the perception of many in Altspace VR. First of all, underage children have always been an issue. This is not new. Last year, worse during the holiday seasons. Trust me. But now, staff have been dealing with the underage issue since the beginning of time, as well as disruptive people and annoying people and whatnot, So, I mean, not just annoying. We're talking about bad annoying, okay? So, but now there are the laws that set these age restrictions. Some of these laws may change how Microsoft sets those age restrictions, but it's normal. So it isn't that, what's different is that because they're being isolated to the info zone for the most part, or hanging just in a campfire and stuff, they just are, we can see them more. They're more visible, but this is nothing new. This is absolutely nothing new. So they're just hanging out in the info zone until, they realize that they don't have an email address, because they don't. Many of the young kids, I just met a 9-year-old. He doesn't have an email address, okay? That's fine. So they don't have email addresses, and they haven't figured out how to lie about their age. So don't encourage them, and don't say you have to be this age, because then they'll say, oh, well, I'm this age, and then there you go. So just know that they are stuck there because of that, and that's what the community helpers and the staff are for.
Now, while all websites and web-based platforms are working on developing stronger age restrictions, efforts to comply with the laws, just know that this is among the normal daily struggles of life in Altspace VR. You are just seeing it in a new way. Block and report for immature behavior, and let life go on. And seriously, guys, for our events, between the moderation tools and the fact that that guests aren't allowed past the info zone, how amazing is that for events? Like, just those, the combination of those two things are a real critical thing to the success of our events, right? So thank you, Altspace.
Yay. And if you want to be helpful, because we're helpful people here, we want to connect with people, head to the campfire and welcome new users at the spawn points. Make them feel welcome, introduce them to how this all works, take them flying, explore the amazing worlds that are here, recommend events to attend, find out what they're interested in and what they want to do and what they want to explore, point them in the right direction. Honestly, what makes this such a special and unique place is that we don't just let people do whatever. We're here to welcome people. We're here to connect with people. We're here to be compassionate and respectful. And boy, I can't tell you how amazing that is. I have met some of the most incredible, wonderful people doing this, which is what Altspace is all about. It's about the people. So please be kind, be compassionate, greet people, get to know them. That's why you're here, and have fun with this. It's supposed to be fun. Yes, it's supposed to be fun.
Now, the Oculus Quest back orders are arriving for many left over from the holiday purchases, and stores filled up and sold out fast. I'll tell you a story. There's a speaker that is going to be speaking in Altspace in a couple weeks, and I talked to her last night, and she literally cannot find an Oculus Quest in the Middle East anywhere. They're sold out everywhere. It's crazy. So this is amazing and really telling for the future of VR in the hands of consumers. We are so excited about the changes that Quest is bringing to VR, and we hope you are too. How many Quest users do we have in the audience? How many people are on their Quest today or have one? Sometimes we have to be for whatever reason.
Oh, wow.
That's really awesome. Yeah.
Yay. That is it. How many are waiting for their Quest? Anybody waiting on back order still? Oh, you all have them. All right. Wonderful. Excellent. You were able to get them in. Fantastic. So a little reminder. I hate being the nag, but when it gets to be big, then we report on it. The official Altspace VR Discord server is open to the public. While there are a few private channels for some events and community roles, most of it is open and visible to the public, thus represents the public face of Altspace VR. We've had an amazing, open, diverse, and outspoken community, and for the most part, we get along or figure ways to work around the people who annoy us. We head to other Discord servers for chatting, complaining, whining, and collective conversations outside the official Discord. Remember, use the right Discord channel for the right purposes. Use feedback for reporting bugs and issues specifically related to the use of Altspace VR, not how the community should work. Use feature requests
And you guys put in feature requests. They do read them. Use feature requests to request new and improved features such as changing the interested button to favorite to match the UI name. Wouldn't that be rocket science?
They did that. No, they did that last week.
Oh, they
It's awesome. Yes.
Oh, something recently changed due to the persistence of our favorite Daisy shop.
Yes. And use troubleshooting to resolve problems you're having. The events discussion for issues with creating events. There's some great helpful people that hang out around there willing to help you. And if you're a helpful person or wishing to become a community helper, the Volunteers Needed channel is your new best friend. Please monitor that and help event hosts with moderation, filming, whatever they can do. You know, it's part of being helpful.
And you guys, just as a side note to that, we've talked about this before. You guys are pioneers. This is like seriously before early adopters, way before mass adoption. And any skills that you learn now are going to be so valuable. Not that they're not valuable now here in AltSpace, but as you're doing things, especially things like filming and in the taking photos and that kind of thing, those skills that you're building, you're going to be able to use them in so many different ways in the future. So it can be really frustrating to learn a new skill, whatever that may be. It is for all of us. But so worthwhile, and it's we're at the beginning, so it's really valuable to you guys. Now,
one day you're going to say, I remember back when.
True.
Good point.
Yeah. The discussion channel is open for discussion. Just remember, it is a public discussion area. Everyone in the open channel sees these. Keep it polite, kind, compassionate, and reflective of our community, please. And in general, keep the chatter down as we tend to overwhelm ourselves with all the fuss. Think about how it impacts the staff. Play nice.
That's true.
It's a good rule and represents the overall goals and standards of our community, right, you guys? And
Yeah.
I would say, think about how you would like to be spoken to. And talk to somebody like that. If there's something that you wouldn't appreciate being said about you in a public forum, don't do it about someone else. That's a good rule. And if you need to say something that maybe is uncomfortable or maybe on a tone that's not for the public discourse, do a private message. Write it out and then read it. Maybe delete it. Maybe send it, but make sure you keep some of these things private. It's just courtesy to everyone.
It really is. Just, it's professional. Try to be professional, I think is the right advice we're giving.
Yes.
Yay. Okay. So most of all, as we've just said several times, please report technical issues through the in-world AltSpace VR support in settings. Upload those logs until the staff sees the logs. They're fishing around trying to recreate the issue, but they don't have your device. They don't have your situation. Help them. These logs hold the key to improving AltSpace VR, so keep them coming. The staff loves it, and they absolutely need it, so keep it going.
And really, a technical issue might be so obvious, you guys, but seriously, it matters exactly where you were. It matters the device. It matters what you did before. It matters what you did after. Every single thing has an impact when you're troubleshooting something, so that makes the logs critical. We have some exciting news
Yay!
regarding events coming up, and don't forget that we have updates all the time on our news and updates Discord server.
And also note, this episode, like all of them, are being recorded and live streamed. Everybody wave, 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 wave to the camera, send up those hearts. Yay! And so it's all being recorded, including all our gaffes. So Mark is saving those for a blooper reel. Oh God, I don't want to watch it. And we just know he's doing this. So watch us on Twitch, watch us on YouTube, and don't miss a moment of our mistakes. Okay, no, I mean actually don't miss a moment of the news and updates from AltSpace VR. Okay, so let's move on before I make more of a fool of myself. Okay, let's talk about some world building. Save me, Donna.
So we mentioned, I don't know if I'm that good. We mentioned last week that the new world featured worlds, and the ability to search worlds and kits is back on the altvr.com website. So critical, you guys. You can now favorite worlds to find them quickly. And the dev team says that they are trying to come up with an easy to use but low performance method of allowing search or taxonomy with worlds in the in-world interface soon. Not sure when. They say that it's in the long-term plans, but rejoice. Have a little patience and rejoice. But seriously, we have the search back on the website, and that's huge. Put in keywords, put in Daisy, put in Mr. Prime, put in some of the world builders like Alan and Karen, and you'll come up with all their worlds. Try Darren, or there's so many different people. So if you meet somebody who's building a world in Altspace and you forgot to build the world, search for a keyword or search for their name in the search tool on the altvr.com website.
Yay. So, regarding, I had a slide. Okay. So regarding the new view of the featured world in the user interface in world, Altspace VR stated that they're going to randomly rotate the worlds every 2 weeks. Well, while the list appears to be randomly generated, we're not seeing the change. So if you see it, let us know. If you see them rotating out, because we're watching, okay? We're watching. And now,
And
guess what,
if you'd
Donna?
like to see it, well, I was going to say, if you'd like to see some different worlds featured, make sure you send in a ticket and ask about it. We should all send. So, of the favorite worlds here in Altspace VR, Spirit Cave is back, and by some accounts better than ever. Seriously, you guys, there's so many worlds, and I have to say I feel a little bit bad mentioning one over the other, because seriously, there's so many fun worlds, and it's hard to name favorites. But the Spirit Cave has this, I have to say, especially for 101s, I love taking people who are newbies in Altspace and just learning to fly. I love taking them to that space. To show them Altspace, but to teach them how to fly, and then heading out to Karen or Daisy or one of their worlds is just an awesome thing. So, but if you want to introduce people to how to fly and the potential for amazing immersive world building, take them to Spirit Cave, and then to some of the great worlds built using Spirit Cave assets that Proxide so generously shared with everyone in the featured kit. So you guys that are working on worlds, you have access to those assets. Yay!
Hey, now I see in the audience, HDX Assassin is using a camera. Just know you need to ask permission before you record here. All right, thank you. Okay, so the World Building Discord server for Altspace VR has a section for photos and sharing, and some of the worlds that world builders are building are private and experimental because they're just pushing the envelope, and they may never be seen, maybe never open to the public. Some might, but with their generosity and their sharing spirit, we wanted to do something different today to pay tribute, because we've been having so many problems with world buildings and world builder stuff. We want to take a moment to show you some of the incredible images from these different channels where people are showing off the great work that they're doing within the limitations. Remember, they have to work within the limitations of Altspace VR, and sometimes that's where some of the creativity is. So we're pushing the limits, and we love these people for pushing. So I wish there was music to go through this, but I'm going to let your emojis stir us on. So Donna, it's directly behind us. If you want to turn around, let's take a look at these beautiful worlds here. I'm just going to go through quickly, and I want us to have some emojis. Aren't these, they're just wackadoodle crazy. And I love it. They're doing amazing things with Unity, pushing the limits, and then sharing their amazing skills. And I think this is from Tony from his Alt Park theme rides. If you haven't done his theme rides, you got to check them out. He's doing amazing work just using the Geometrics kit along with some Unity. I think this is one of Mika's. All kinds of crazy fun things. And some realistic, really pushing Unity to be as realistic as possible, and others all over the map. And I just love the depth that people are going. and they're having fun with lighting. Lots of fun with lighting. You can do all kinds of crazy things with lighting. And then Jimmy had to bring in a baby Yoda. Because Altspace wouldn't be Altspace without a baby Yoda in there.
So thanks for
I
all
love
that.
that. Yeah.
I love you guys. Those are amazing.
Mhm.
So the world building, this Wednesday, the world building tour, this past Wednesday was fantastic as usual, exploring the beautiful worlds here in Altspace VR. Next week, the world building tour team is working on a great tour of music venue worlds. Many of these are also event spaces and great fun to explore. Check out this and all the Wednesday world building tours to explore the amazing versatility and variation of the worlds here in Altspace VR. And I have to say, one of the comments about these tours is that you actually have access to the builders and they will actually answer your questions. So I get so many questions about specific things about world building. And there's the Discord channel and there's the meetup on Tuesday. But seriously, guys, going and being immersed in their worlds and being able to have direct access to the builders, that's invaluable, you guys. So don't miss the opportunity if you, if at all possible, check out the tours.
Yay. All right. For more information on world building, also visit help.lpr.com. That's okay. And
I go off
developer.
on my tangent and forget.
That's all right. As
There's
long
a
as we get the
script.
information. Don't worry.
Sorry about that.
Developer.lpr.com, because this is where this magic happens. Seriously, please experiment. Push the limits. See what happens. You know, we're trying really hard to break Altspace VR, but it's up to you to help us break it. Because the more we break it, the better it gets. So push those limits. You know, it's now we're going to talk about some events, and I have to tell you that there is nothing better than getting feedback for your event. And last week, after our event, we talked to one of our audience members about the classes they're taking here in Altspace VR. The computer programming courses like Java and JavaScript and C# and Unity and so on, and they loved it. These are educators that are really pushing the limits here as well, and we love it as well. They say it feels like you're really there, which is actually really funny to hear, that there is a sense of accountability because you are there. It's not like it's online and it's nebulous. Your body, so to speak, your virtual body is there, so you kind of like got to show up and got to behave, got to do the work. So we asked them for recommendations because they're taking all the classes and things. We asked for recommendations on taking classes in Altspace VR, and their recommendation, which I really, really appreciate, do not take everything at the same time, just as you would in the real world. Don't try to take every single course at the same time because you're going to break your head, all right? So be selective, but take these courses. They're free for now. And she also said, if you're a teacher, run a course. Keep it simple, keep it fun, keep it interactive, but just do it. We need more classes here. Of course, we're kind of prejudiced about that. But yeah, we need more classes here. So if you're a teacher, come teach us.
And if you're passionate about something, come share your passion. I just came from doing one-on-one with Diamond, and one of the people that we took flying came up to us and said, I'm building a game, and I want to, can somebody help me start an event so I can teach people and show people about the game I'm building? You guys, if you have ideas like that, please go for
Oh, how
it.
awesome. Oh, I love that.
So congrats again to Center Stage for celebrating their 1 year anniversary in Altspace VR. You guys, that is just huge. It takes such commitment. You go through so many ebbs and flows. There's those highs and lows all the time for any event. It's hard, it's fun, it's exciting, it's exhausting. It's all these emotions all built into one, and to do it for a year is huge. So that's amazing. The event was incredible, inspiring, and even included a few songs written and performed, especially for the anniversary celebration. Love it. Cheers to Natalia and all the amazing moderators and performers who helped support this great event. And congrats on your 1 year anniversary. Just wow.
It is amazing. And speaking of a long-term event, the Hive is coming back. They've got
It's
a
coming
new
back.
host.
This is one of the best things I've
Yay!
heard for a while. Yay!
And I don't know how to say this. Is it Navak?
I think so.
Yeah,
I always-
Navak. I will
Yeah.
say it wrong. The queen
Well,
bee of
Navak.
social VR. Navak? All right, is going to be taking over from Vivian. Yay! And she's moved on to new media pastures. And it begins a new season March 13th with a new host, new and old guests, rocking Altspace VR for the latest in VR tech, games, and behind-the-scenes interviews. Check out The Hive in March.
That's so cool. There's so many new things in Altspace, and those are exciting. But I have to say, having like Jesse came back with 8 episodes of Tech Talk, and now having the Hive back, it's sort of the combination of nostalgia and new things is makes for never a dull moment in Altspace VR.
It does. And I want to just add, I worked on TV shows and radio shows and podcasts and stuff for many, many years. And what we usually do is record like a batch of 12 or 13 or 18 all within like 2 days. And then they're aired on television. These are live, folks. These are live events that you're getting to see. When they say a season, it's hard work to show up every week to do this. It's much easier to try to jam them all out in 2 days. So, just know these are live, and we love it.
And we have some of the best events across all the VR platforms here in Altspace VR. No joke, people. And for variety, there are a few like it. One of the things we love is how event hosts are teaching others how to have how to host amazing events in VR.
And so we're have an amazing week ahead of us. Talking about amazing. Nicholas Brown is presenting Teaching in VR on Monday. This is an expanded version of his Educators in VR presentation from last month because it was so in demand that he repeat this. He's creating a separate one. And then I will be presenting how to present an educational event in Altspace VR for the weekly Educators in VR workshop on Tuesday. And Educators in VR is presenting Speaker 101 events to help you learn about how to speak and how to present as in VR, which is a little different than in the real world as a speaker, ensuring that you engage well with the audience and you keep those virtual butts in those virtual chairs. So take advantage of these and all of the great events to learn how to improve your own VR event.
Now called the hottest thing outside the campfire, the rooftop meets here in Altspace VR every other week. And this week's show features Laurel and the Educators in VR International Summit that will be filling up the schedule February 17th to 22nd. They also feature guest performers, comedians, and have a great deal of fun, so check them out every other Monday.
Which brings us to what is soon to be filling up in your calendar. The 2020 Educators in VR International Summit is February 17th through the 22nd. Are you ready for this? Virtual drum roll. Okay. Here in Altspace VR is going to be 170 speakers in 150 events across 5 platforms and across 6 days. Do we have an amen on board here? Yeah. I don't know how we're going to do this. Donna and I and Daniel and others, Karen and Sue, so we're working overtime to make this thing happen. The majority of the events are right here on Altspace VR, and we're creating these right after this event throughout the rest of the weekend. We've received word that this is a record-breaking event. Oh my God, I'm just kind of stunned. We haven't even done it yet, and it's already broken records just by announcing it. It is considered the largest conference with the most events and the most speakers over the most days in a virtual immersive space ever. Are we going to be able to survive this, Donna? I'm just kind of stunned. Honestly, I could not do this without my friend Donna here next to me and on all the amazing people on our team. So the event is, they're going to be live streamed. There's going to be individual workshops with experts from around the world, and the whole event is free and open to the public. It is groundbreaking. It is earth-shattering, earthquaking, and we'd love to have you involved. Volunteers are still needed. In fact, one of our volunteer coordinators is right here in the audience. Karen, see her after the show. She'll recruit you. And so please, you can learn all about it and see the event schedule at educatorsinvr.com, and your jaws will drop. And please sign up to volunteer. It takes a village to make something like this work, and you're one of our residents, so please step up. We'd love your help.
And we need it for all time. So I have to say, as one who hosts events regularly, on the flip side of what the rest of the world, when they're awake, there is a lot of insomniacs in North America. So you guys, if you can give us a few hours, doesn't have to be a big commitment, but can give us a few hours in the wee hours of the North American time, that would be just wonderful as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there are so many things happening in Altspace VR. Check them out. There are great featured events. Check out some of the new events under All and explore the magic of Altspace VR, where we bring together passion, people to talk and share their passionate ideas. It's amazing. Really, don't miss out on it. So remember, the conversation doesn't stop here in Altspace VR. Check out the various Discord groups we have for the Altspace VR community and activities. There's an official Altspace VR group, but many of the other ones are still rocking. So we have a list in the lobby, just so you can check it out as you leave.
Yay. Oh, wow. Okay. We got through most of the news. Now it's time for discussion. And this one we'd kind of like to include you. So I will turn on our raise hand button here in just a second. How many have seen all the news associated with the ability to view and interact with dead people in VR? Anyone else has seen that? I see Diamond in the back. Has anybody else, have you heard about this? Oh, if only a few people. Well, it is hit CNN, and we're pretty hit everywhere else. So there's let me just step back for just a second while we talk about this. So a few years ago, a team down in Australia or New Zealand, I can't remember, they created their father had died just a couple years ago, and they created an app that would use photographs and film and then make 3D versions of those. And they brought his dad back to life. The developer brought his dad back to life. And there was a lot of controversy about whether or not this is a good thing. Well, now coming out of, I believe it's out of Korea, someone has done that and brought back the life of a child so that a parent could hang with them in VR and do whatever. We have a lot of mixed feelings about this, and I just want to take just a couple minutes to kind of talk about seeing how you feel about that and bringing that into Altspace. Just kind of curious what you think about it. So I'm going to hit the raise hand button. Donna, do you have any comments while we're waiting for people who may want to talk about this? It's a tough thing.
I have to, it's tough. I have to say that I read the article, and I got the creeps, sort of. But these are also things that we're going to be dealing with. So as policy is being made and as things are being debated about the virtual world around the globe, these are the kinds of things that we're going to be dealing with. So we have to get past the creep and figure out how to deal with it.
We have to creep past the creepies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you really, that is a invaluable point. We need to get past this, and we need to understand how we feel about it and what it means to us. So we're eager to hear what you think about this. So, Mega Loden, you're on.
Yes, I want to say that maybe that would help someone in the grieving process to say goodbye to their loved one if they didn't get a chance to do that in life.
I think that's true. Maybe it would help with the grieving process. How many agree with that? How many think it would really help with that grieving process? A chance to say goodbye. Yeah. Or maybe you've left some stuff undone and you want to just sit there and maybe if there's an AI behind it, it goes into personality. I mean, how do you read, how much information, you can just have a presence there, but what if, if they want some interaction with that complicates things. And, I see that coming way down the road when AIs can emulate behaviors. I mean, people's behaviors and attitudes, but interesting. Great point. Thank you. Yeah, I love that. And that scares me too. All right, we have Raquel. How about you?
Rachel.
Rachel,
Rachel.
sorry.
Yeah. No. I think it goes either way. I agree with that wholeheartedly for people who have maybe been too far away physically and weren't able to have closure. It could also work on the flip side, and it can extend a grieving period beyond. It really is a very individual thing. I mean, some people may be able to put a lid on the amount of time that they use VR to get past the grieving, and some of them might need to be reminded, you need to slow it down. So I think it's a very individual thing, which opens up like who can help them to put a lid on it, to slow it down when the time comes when they think enough grieving has taken place and now they have to move on, So it's very individual. It's very individual.
Yeah, it is.
Getting to a place of closure may be hard for some people. So if we open up this avenue and it may be really hard for people to actually make it to closure, which is important for our future of mental health and quality of life for ourselves when we feel like we've lost somebody that we literally can't live without, right? Which it happens to people all the time.
Yeah. This reminds me of, in Harry Potter, there's the Mirror of Erised. Y'all remember that from the movies and the books? And the mirror, it was a magical mirror that according to Dumbledore, shows the deepest, most desperate desire of our hearts. It's an ancient mirror. And the issue that was said that it shows the most desperate desire of a person's heart, a vision that has been known to drive men mad. And I think that kind of sums up what you're talking about. So beautiful point. Beautiful point. We do have to figure out make sure that there's some form of support network there. Excellent point. Love it. All right, gosh, this is great. I was so afraid of bringing this up. Callie, our friend Callie, what do you have to think about this?
Well, you were asking about how we would feel if this was brought into Altspace, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. That's part of it, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that there's a time and place for everything. I think if it was used in psychological evaluations and psychological medication, if you could call it that, then it might be fine. But to bring it in here, I think it would be the most awkward thing ever. I think it doesn't belong here.
Especially if it was public. If it was private, that would be different. But you're right. If it's public, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't want anybody talking to my dead dad. He would love it. He would thrive on it. But that would be creepy to have other strangers talking to my dead father. That would be, yeah. Okay, I'm not.
And it would also raise another problem.
Yeah.
It would also raise another problem. Is like, what if people wouldn't see the difference between an AI virtual dead person and the real person? Who am I actually interacting with?
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
so,
good points. Hadn't thought about that. Yeah. Wow.
I used to work in a Danish company that's kind of like Yahoo, the Danish version of it called UB, and we made a chat system that's now owned by Lycos. And we had some bots that could actually talk, so we trained them. And we saw some of the logs, the chat logs with something that was a girl that we had made. Mm-hmm. And we had boys asking her for phone number and trying to...
Well, yes.
and this was way before GDPR, I have to say. So, but so who wouldn't talk to a dead person, you know? Especially now when AI is actually becoming more AI, where what we created was just something that knew how to react to certain phrases.
Mm-hmm. But oh boy, the way this can go. All right, very cool. All right, Mitchell, we'll do one more because we need to get on with the rest of the show. So Mitchell, you want to have your say?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I just want to say hi because I've never actually been in one of these events.
Well, we are glad that you're here. We need to, when you do hit the raise hand button, we need to have people stay on topic. So Ancient, I will say, how about a last word from you before we check out for the news?
Okay, what hasn't been mentioned is consent, because for example, I would definitely never consent to have my photos or images or sound bites taken and create a digital persona out of that after I've been passed away or even before. So there definitely needs to be some rules and regulations set before it should ever be allowed.
Excellent point. Excellent point. You know, you've got to give permission. I think that is brilliant, you know, or do you, or should you? And obviously, if it's a child, that's a little harder and more complicated. Excellent point. Wow. I love this. All right. Well, keep the conversation live on our Discord. And you want to take us out, Donna?
Yeah, so thanks everyone for that. That was awesome. So you can keep up with the AltSpace news and updates by subscribing to our event through the channels tab on the altvr.com website. Join us on Discord. And you can watch the live stream of past news events on our YouTube channel. We've just added the AltSpace VR announcements feed to the news and updates Discord server. And we're here for you to keep you updated on the news in AltSpace. So please tell a friend, share our Discord and YouTube channel so others can keep up with the news that we share here about AltSpace VR.
Yay! And we're going to hang around after the news, talk about whatever it is you want for just a few minutes and answer your questions. And if you want to volunteer, we would love it. We need volunteers here to help make this event a success. And I want to thank Serenity and Ancient and Mark and Donna. And I tell you, Donna, I look forward to doing this with you every week. You are amazing. And it is great fun.
Feel the same way about you. Yeah. Absolutely.
We get to be goofy and stupid and make mistakes, and for some reason you still seem to love us. I don't understand it. So thank you, everybody, and we will see you all next week. All right. Woo! Okay, now I'm gonna get sick again.